Mungu akubariki popote ulipo. God bless you from wherever you are, from wherever you are watching from. My name is B.Branson na niliahidi kurudi kuzungumzia mada hii. I made a promise to come back and together we get to learn from the Spirit of God different things, different mysteries that by the grace of God were revealed to me. I was made to understand them by the Spirit. So wherever you are, I want to alert you. I want to prepare you so that you take a moment of also preparing yourself and gather yourself and make sure this one, you are not the only person that gets to hear this. So make sure someone also is receiving this. I believe it's a life-changing, and it's not for everyone. I know it's for the few, and you are part of the few. You are the few that is meant for. So let's slowly and also quickly dive into this matter. I made a point where I got to say that there is a possibility whereby one can possess an ability to change, to convert energy that is in sexual form into money, actually money. I want you to really pay attention on what I am going to say by the Spirit. Now, it is very possible to transform that energy. It's very possible that energy can be converted. But take note of this one. The way I presented this topic, I did not say lust. I did not say sexual life. What I said is sexual energy. That kind of energy that is in sexual form, that appears as a sexual urge. It can be transformed or converted into an energy that is monetary form. The same sexual urge over here can be made to become money urge, or the urge for money, the urge for sex over here. But over here, it can be the urge of money. And this is how to go about it. You need to know that this is a topic that some have tried to really get into it and try to understand. Some have been struggling in trying to deal with this type of energy. But there is the deeper knowledge, revelation, mystery on this that I want to touch. You know, in ancient knowledge, in ancient mysteries, we call it the knowledge of the elite, the knowledge that is sacred, the knowledge that was prohibited to only be understood by a very few group of people. In those kind of mysteries, this topic is very crucial. This topic is very important. You must find it there. You must find it there. So listen to me very careful. Very careful. I want you to pay attention on this one. Because of wanting to change this type of energy, many went into doing several practice, different kind of practice in trying to achieve this energy. They are trying to utilize that energy and make it, convert it, and use it for other purposes. There is things like semen retention. If you have never had or you have ever come across such kind of a word or a practice called semen retention, and also the other one is called not-up. If you have ever come across of those two kind of practices, all of these, they have like the same intention, but they slightly differ. Let me quickly tell you on this one before I get to give you something that you can't, is hidden, something that is very hidden. and ancient, and I'm about to drop it here. Now hear me. Not-up is practice, is always a practice that aims to, that is done by a person in aiming to deal with addiction. It might be porn addiction, sexual addiction, things like that. So it involves abstraining away from anything that is that provokes sexual energy. So it like the whole idea concerning not-up is dealing with habits and characters. So someone abstains from all of those things for the sake of character. That is a very short explanation on not-up. And semen retention, it's a practice that is done for the aim of trying to preserve that energy. The purpose behind semen retention is to preserve the energy, to not be wasted, to preserve it for other use. You see? So there is one act or practice that is done for the sake of dealing with addiction, and there is one that is done for the aim of preserving the energy for other purposes. The same, we are dealing with the same topic. Now, before I go far, this topic, you don't mess around with this one. It's not something that everyone just can wake up and talk about it. That's why you don't really get to hear many people touching these areas. Someone may be knowing, but for you to go and touch these areas, you must be sure of where you're standing. This is not an emotional topic to talk about. So you can be hearing from someone else, but it matters you are hearing it from who? The person that is talking to you, where you are getting this message. It matters a lot. So consider what I'm about to say and reveal to you by the Spirit. Now, these two practices, they aim, the one aims on changing character, the one aims on protecting the energy and using it for the other issues. Now, semen retention, someone may say, what is semen retention? It's a practice that is done whereby one consciously with their conscious mind, purposely, intentionally, during that sexual practice, one decides to not release the ejaculate purposely, intentionally holding or he holds himself not to ejaculate. For what? Because somewhere, somehow, they believe that energy, it's the virtue, that someone can hold it and use it for other pursuits, maybe for creativity or for productivity, mental health, you know. But those are earthly matters. Before I take you to the root, those are earthly matters. And there is a man that got to really dive and publish this idea. His name, I know maybe you have ever encountered his book. He wrote a book called Think Big, Grow Rich. I know maybe you have ever encountered that book. The man is called Napoleon Hill something. In that book, he tried to touch this idea. He somehow believed that it works when someone protects that sexual urge and not waste that energy. Instead, someone can take advantage of that energy and use it for other purposes. Now, still, can that energy be really converted? Now, let's go a little bit deep. There is another one that is old, that is this one is the one, this is Julius Robert, I think so. He spoke about, and there is Mr. Joe Joule. They touched, and this one, Julius Robert, discovered the principle of energy conservation or energy conversion. If you've been in school, you can remember. And he stated a very wonderful statement. And he said, concerning the principle of energy conservation or conversion, he said that energy can neither be created nor destroyed, but it can be changed from one form to another. You see now, Mr. Robert Julius, he the way it really entered into the science, into this science thing or scientific theories and all of that. Mr. Robert did the theory, but Mr. Joel came to do the practical of what Mr. Julius said. You get it? So, looking at that, the way he discovered that, now capture this one, capture this one, capture this one. Science, you know, everything that is physical that you are seeing and it works, its origin is never physical. It's never physical. It's never physical. There is a source of whatever that is solid, any idea that is solid on earth, there is a source that is there behind. Now, there is a reason why I have not gone into touching on what is already known. You know, if you have dived well into this thing, trying to understand, I believe you have encountered this knowledge that is upper. It's not the deeper knowledge. That's why I'm not talking of it. You know, it is believed when someone, maybe for someone who does masturbation or he's into sex life a lot, the effects, or someone who is into pornography and all of those stuffs, all of of them, it is believed, of which is true, that the effects behind all those acts, one of them is it affects one's confidence. It will affect your confidence. It will affect your boldness. It will affect your mind, your creativity. You can't be masturbating and expecting that you'll be creative. You will have creative ideas on business, on your life, on art, on design, and a lot of lifestyles. All of those things, they are enemies of creativity. They affect your mind. They affect your confidence. You know, someone who does those things, they can't even make eye contact, you know? It's difficult. That's the very easiest way to know someone who is into this. They cannot hold eye contact for enough time with someone. So it affects physically, it affects a lot. So you will come to know that the energy that is wasted during porn, during masturbation, during sex, which is during ejaculation, which is the result of sex, the energy that is coming out during those acts, as it leaves someone, there is there is how that person gets affected. It's like there is a certain part of power, virtue, that has left the person also when that whatsoever is living. You get the idea? That's why they came about with all these practices. I told you about not up for someone who is addicted into. They do that practice for the sake of uh, shaping character and regaining the old character. A practice, I told you another one, semen retention. They withhold not to ejaculate for the sake of preventing the energy, so that they may use that energy for, maybe they want to be creative, they want to be they want to maintain that confidence. So it is believed so much, of which it is true. But going back to the man that discovered the principle of energy conversion, he said you cannot create energy, you cannot destroy it, but you can only change it from one form into another. But the energy that he was talking about, take note of this one, the energy that he was talking about, it, the way science took it into, mechanical energy, chemical energy, light energy, electrical energy, those energy. But when you really dig deep, the way the guy discovered it, you will see that blood is involved. The things that helped him discover the blood or blood pressure was involved. It wasn't as light, it did not start as light energy, electrical energy, water energy. The one Mr. Jew that came to prove, he used those principles to come to prove. But the one that first discovered it, it was, the idea came from the body. That energy conservation idea, somewhere, somehow, the body was involved, blood was involved. He looked into the body, how the body changes in different climates, and then he came about that. We should I think we should, someone may think really let's see something. Let's see something. Sindio? Let's see something. Let's see something. Okay. This is how he discovered it. You can even ask the, ChatGPT. This is another. You can even ask there. Tell you, or ask Google. So it says, how did Robert Julius Mayer discover the principle of energy conservation or conversion? This is how the story is. Let me read how the first one how he discovered it. Then I will take you now to something that you cannot find it on AI. There is no any AI that knows what I'm about to tell you. So pay attention. Let me give you the thing that is known, so that when I tell you now the thing, you will understand very clearly. When you master this thing, is something else. This is the knowledge of the elite, the few, very few, very few. Let me read for you. Julius Robert Mayer discovered the principle of energy conversion around this is 1842, 1842, while working as a ship's doctor. Ni daktari wa melini, sio? Marine, on the water kule, as a ship's doctor. You see, the one that discovered this thing was a doctor. This guy was not a mechanic. This guy, you know, this whole energy conversation nowadays is used on a mechanic and all stuffs, electric, converting this to this. But the guy that discovered this one was a doctor. Take note of that one. A doctor does not deal with cars, electricity, and all of things. Deals with the behaviors of the body. That's all. That's what the doctor is all about. Dealing with the behaviors of the body, studying the body, understanding how the body works, understanding the operations of the body. Now, right now I'm about to mention something that is so crazy. You just hold for a minute. Now, let's listen to Mr. Julius Robert Mayer. While working as a ship's doctor, this one you can ask on AI, they will bring you. Just type, how did Robert Julius Mayer discover the principle of energy conversion? Okay. While he was working as a ship's doctor, he noticed blood color changes in the tropical climates. That's what he noticed. He noticed what? He noticed blood color changes in tropical climates, realizing less oxygen was used to produce body heat. That's what he realized, that less oxygen was used to produce body heat during that kind of climate change. Okay, was used to produce it says linking metabolism to energy. Mayer then connected mechanical work and heat. He then connected mechanical work and heat, calculating how falling weights could raise water temperature, proving energy changes form, but isn't lost. This led to his law of conservation of energy. He did all of that to prove that the energy is not lost, but it only changes. But what I want you to notice on this one, now it says, now they asked me on this AI guys, they said, you want me to share how this compares to James Jones' work? I told you this James Jones guy, this Mr. Robert came with a principle. He discovered it. But this guy now, the James Joe came to prove it by practical. He did some practical too. So this one, like, he made it boom, like ndo aliyeitangaza, republish sana this guy. Now he says, while Mayer came up with the idea, the one that came with the idea was Robert Mayer. While Mayer came up with the idea, James Joe did precise experiments around the same time. This one came to do now experiments. Okay. Joe swag pedals in water to show mechanical energy turning into heat, measuring the conversation exactly. Okay. His work gave strong proof that energy is conserved, leading to the first law of thermodynamics. So Mayer had the theory, Joule had the test. See, Mayer came with a theory, but the test was done by Joule. Now, right there, what I want to now tell you how even they started to think about this thing. There is an angel that visited this doctor guy. There is a spiritual being, and the name will preserve it. Remember, this doctor has been working and even trusted to work as a doctor there. This was not his first time doing his doctor thing. But why is it that day he thought of that? That idea was brought by a spiritual being. And he captured a part of information. But you know the way angels speak? A spirit can speak one statement, and maybe you are 5 or 3 of you, and one can get to pick or hear that same word from that same angel. But getting now, when you go now to ask 5 different people that heard that same spiritual being speaking, they might give you different messages, or one may get deeper than the other, and the one may get even deeper on the message than the other. Why? Because when a spirit speaks, a spirit will speak in a language that is spiritual in nature. The nature of the language is spiritual. So even the one hearing, somewhere, they have to possess a spiritual ability that helps them to hear and decode what a spirit spoke. Now, spiritual growth, sensitivity, ability to perceive or to hear, to sense, and whatever, how that person can precisely capture every details, it may differ from one person to another. You know, right now, Jesus can say, prepare for my coming, I am coming back. But when you go to this man of God, we will go in details and tell you, he's coming, but not this year. The other one may tell you, I'm telling you this. He might appear even now. You see? But the voice came from one spirit. But the depth on details, they depends on a person that is hearing. The ability of the hearer, the ability of the receiver. So I want you to pay much attention on this part now. This part. I read what the world know, what everyone know. Now capture this part. Because